Good morning.
Hi Tony, how are you?
Good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
That's good. Good to see you again. Yeah. Okay. So, do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, I want to share my screen
Yeah.
actually. Oh, it's not working.
Okay.
Yep. Are you able to
Yeah.
see my screen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, can get started?
Yeah. Shall we? Yeah, we should start it. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna host the info session,
Mm-hmm.
and so firstly, it's very honored to have our guest speaker, Janani, who is a AI specialist, graduate from Melbourne University. So today we're gonna talk about how the trend of AI is gonna assist with our learning process, or if it's gonna conflict with our learning purpose. So during the whole session, I'm gonna keep interacting with Janani. And if any of you have any questions, feel free to actually type it up in the chat box and we will respond accordingly. All right. So let's get started. Okay.
Yeah, good morning everyone, and thank you for joining us today. As Tony introduced, my name is Jalani Malswamy, and I recently graduated from the University of Melbourne with a Master of Information Technology, specializing in artificial intelligence. And I also did my Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Science again. And I have various work experiences from companies like Anka, Arcana, and then an internship from Samsung, and also an academic internship at NUS Singapore and HPE as well. And yeah, this is about me, and let's get started.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, the main purpose of this session is, like for the students, they learn about computer science, but they don't fully understand like how computer science works in the background, how does AI evolve, and then how people are using AI currently, and how does it give answers for the questions we ask. So this summer camp is mainly not about just teaching computer science, but how to understand the technology behind it.
Mhm.
So this camp will be a 3-day learning experience, and each session will be 2 hours long. And the students will explore the three main concepts of computer science, and then the machine learning, and how to use AI responsibly, and
Mhm.
also, knowing the limitations on when to stop using it. And the today's session roadmap will be about the lesson plan for the entire tech camp, and then also exploring the learning outcomes and benefits, and
Mhm.
addressing the key concerns about AI. And at the end,
Yeah.
we'll have a question and answer session.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mainly coming on to the point, why teach tech to years 7 and 9?
Mhm.
And as we know that students already interact with AI a lot, and they are being taught in their schools as well. But
Mhm.
this is a critical stage for students' development as well. So they are beginning to form independent skills and exploring new interests. And this age makes it perfect for them to introduce the foundational concepts in technology. And firstly, the exposure helps build confidence, and also students are introduced to coding, algorithms, and AI now, so they don't need to get like anxiety or something later when they are introduced to very difficult concepts in their high school. So, and also it helps them explore future career pathways. As mentioned over here, we can see that AI, machine learning, coding, cybersecurity, design, media, computer graphics, gaming. There are so many opportunities available, and not just limiting to these domains. AI is now integrated with every department like health, electricity, energy department, defense, and everywhere. So not just mainly focusing on IT companies, but every other department now uses AI professionals or IT professionals. So it would be very important to introduce these concepts early on so that when choosing a degree subject in the future, it would be easier for them to choose a career pathway.
Yeah. I think we've got a question here. What are the range? What age is suitable for this AI summer camp? Well, because you said year 7 to 9, so is it also suitable for younger kids or maybe a little older kids, maybe the year 10s or year 11s?
Yeah.
It's a beginner level, right? Uh, uh,
Actually, this camp is more suitable for like age group 7 to 10 as well because
yeah.
the high school students may feel this camp a bit easier to understand,
Okay.
and because we are also including year sevens, we want to introduce these concepts and make them understand how these things work. And instead of jumping directly into the difficult part, where the high school students would prefer that, which would
Okay.
be not efficient for the younger ones.
Yeah.
And for primary school, this would be a bit extreme because they have just started learning all the difficult concepts in other subjects as well. So
Yeah.
at this point of
Mm.
time, they won't be able to comprehend like the machine learning part, how bias and variance work, and other main
Yeah.
concepts in the computer science.
Yeah. Too difficult to understand. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
True. Yeah.
And yeah, moving on to the next one. So the camp overview is 3 days and 2 hours each. And first day we'll discuss about computer science foundations, where students will learn how computer science evolved and then the concepts behind computer science. How does computer process step-by-step instruction and not just blindly use judgment or reasoning like humans do? And we
Mm.
introduce the concepts of algorithms and variables, like how computers store and process information, how computers make decision, and how does it repeat a set of instructions without us writing manual code again and again. And we'll also be discussing what's day one in the next few slides. And coming to day two, students will learn machine learning basics, like how machines learn, how they extract patterns from the data they've been trained on, how do we collect the data from various sources, and what is bias and variance. And that leads us to the question of like why computer science, sorry, why AI systems make mistakes or sometimes give incorrect information.
Mhm.
And that will also include using a few hands-on practice activities and a quiz as well. And on day three, we'll learn about how to use responsible AI and also prompt engineering on how to guide AI to your, giving specific context and asking it to give the answers effectively.
Mm.
And each session includes the theory and hands-on coding activities as well, and discussions following that, and a short
Mm.
quiz at the end of the session to understand what they've learned out of that day.
Mm.
Yeah. And moving on to day one, computer science foundations. So first, students will learn the theory behind what computer science is and why it matters and how to understand how computers work,
Mm.
and understanding the concept of algorithms, which is step-by-step instruction solving, and that's how computers learn.
Mm.
So like students will start, like I'll start explaining by how a sandwich is being made, like step-by-step process, the same way
Mm.
computers learn as well. And students will be exposed to concepts like variables, like how computers store information and how they make decisions, how to repeat tasks efficiently. And we will use Google Colab, which is an online coding platform provided by Google, to use Python language. And we can build simple computer programs, like we'll build the calculator program together along with the students. And the students then will work on a similar problem, which is a password strength checker, where I will guide them on each and every step, but they will try that on their own first.
Mm.
And at the end of the day one, they'll be provided with a quiz to understand what their knowledge level for that day was. Any questions here?
Well, we've got a few questions in the chat box, but I think we can leave that until later. after you finish introducing this summer camp. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And going on to the next day. So day two
Mm,
is about understanding machine learning. This is very foundational for understanding artificial intelligence. So we'll learn about what machine learning is and discussing some real life examples.
mm,
And computers don't reason or judge like humans do, as we discussed. They learn from patterns and the data being provided to them. And the key
mm,
concepts we'll be learning in this session are training data, so what the model learns from and where. So the internet is vast, like there are so many data available in this world. So how do people collect these data, how to organize them, and then how does this data affect the model training as well? And that leads to bias and variance, why AI can be wrong. Bias is something which happens because when the training data being provided is just specific to one group and it's not diverse enough to analyze the different contexts that could be posed in the testing session. So that
mm,
leads to bias because it's biasing or like like contradicting the actual fact, but just focusing on one specific answer because it was just trained upon that solution and not exposed to diverse set of data. And
mm,
variance is something when it's the data is having too much noise and the
mm,
model becomes very sensitive and it just drastically goes to different extremes to answer these questions. So too much noise also affects the model. And also too less of a data affects the model, which is the bias. So we'll be discussing these two concepts.
mm,
And following that, we'll be doing a hands-on activity using Teachable Machine.
mm,
This is also provided by Google, which is an online machine learning platform where students don't need to code, but they can understand the concepts behind how machines work. So, say if an image is loaded, how do
mm,
machines understand the pattern behind that image and gives output saying it belongs to this class, say a cat or a dog. So we
mm,
learn how does it make decisions or learn patterns from the data being provided and make a decision out of that. So students will be training an image classifier and they'll be also testing the accuracy and identify limitations of what this machine learning can be capable of. And following that, we will have some discussions, which is why AI sometimes makes mistakes, and also a short quiz to understand their learning for day two.
yeah.
Any questions specific to this
Yeah. Oh, I
session?
think I see this interesting question.
Mhm.
Do we have any entry level course? Well, this is an entry level course. Does it start from play Lego? No, it doesn't. Does it start from play Lego? I know there are some like AI camp. They actually teach students how to play with Lego. So no,
This
we
is
don't play with.
actually starter course because as in day one, I'll be teaching
Yeah,
literally the foundational level of
yeah,
subject knowledge, which is the computer
yeah,
science and how computers
yeah,
understand the instructions we give them. And then
yeah,
slowly moving on to a difficult part, which is the machine
yeah,
learning of how machines
yeah,
make decisions and how do they learn from various data, not just one simple program or something.
yeah,
And moving forward, we'll have a more difficult subject
yeah.
knowledge, which is AI use and how to use it responsibly. So
Okay.
on day three, we'll discuss about how modern AI tools work and where students encounter them, like even in social media, when you scroll like your FB page or Instagram, you would have
Mm,
just been talking about some particular product that you have been planning to buy, but suddenly you see an ad on Instagram saying that this product is on sale or something. So
uh,
how do these things happen and how do you get these personalized ads to you? And then how does all these social media apps process these content, and not just social media but everywhere else, like even in health industry, like we see that now doctors use AI to take notes during a patient conversation. Instead of them
mm,
wasting time writing them down, they can just focus on the patient and treating them rather than taking notes, which is handled by the AI itself. And
mm,
even for like identifying patterns from an X-ray scan or a CT scan,
mm,
and also processing huge amounts of data that comes in like stocks and investment markets And it's like now everywhere, AI is everywhere and people have been
Yes.
using it, and also they have a fear of AI replacing jobs,
Yeah.
which will be a key question we'll be answering at the end of this session.
Okay.
So starting off, we'll be first discussing the prompt engineering, which is how
Yeah.
to write clear,
Mm.
specific, and effective instructions for AI to give the expected answer the humans want, and also
Yeah.
how to improve the quality of AI responses. So you sometimes you see it just gives a blunt answer for a question you're asking. So
Hmm.
how to improve these AI responses and how to guide it effectively is something we'll be discussing and practicing in this session hands-on, and also how to understand AI limitations. So
Yeah.
students will be understanding accuracy and bias and misinformation and how to identify these things and how to limit the use of AI.
Yeah.
And for responsibly AI use is like using AI safely for schoolwork and not overly
Yeah.
relying on it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and checking facts before just blindly believing it and verifying information from AI. And we'll
Yeah.
also discuss like why AI sometimes give wrong answers or why it doesn't have
Yeah.
the, yep,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also avoiding over reliance on technology, because this age group, year 7 to 9, is mainly exposed to social media a lot. And
Yes.
also now the use of AI is also extremely high. And
Mm.
we'll be discussing how to avoid the reliance on technology and how to
Hmm.
improve our own self-thinking as well. And we'll
Yeah.
also discuss the concept of digital well-being and balancing online and offline life. And at the end, we'll be having a short quiz and discussion. And also in this day 3, we'll also discuss about the day 1 and day two's learning concepts, just an
Mm.
overview.
Yeah.
And we'll address any questions the students might have in the future and other things.
Yeah.
So moving on to the learning outcomes and benefits. So by the end of the camp, students will be able to understand how computers, algorithms, and AI work, how
Yeah.
the coding part is being done, and how
Mm.
machines learn to make decisions, and how do they learn patterns from a given question or an image or video or anywhere. Like now AI doesn't just use text, it also understands the speech. When we upload files, it is able to doc like read the documents in it, and then also classify images. It understands the image part as well,
Mm.
so they'll be able to understand everything and how to
Mm.
use say AI tools safely and responsibly. And this helps them improve their logical thinking, because computer science is maybe like a derivative of math, because in mathematics now we ask questions like we have done so many algebraic or integration or all these difficult concepts in mathematics, but we don't use it in a day-to-day basis. But we have been
Mm.
exposed to those problems because we develop logical thinking. It's the
Yeah.
same thing with computer science. Computer science is exactly a derivative or a different version of mathematics, where
Mm.
students understand the logic behind it rather than mugging it up or like just going directly and trying if it works or not.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
also helps them problem solving and
Yeah.
helps escalate digital literacy.
Mm.
And they'll also be able to understand the awareness of online safety and digital well-being. And it will
Mm.
also help build confidence exploring these new technologies. So as we discussed the future pathways, and this age group is more appropriate again for this campus because this helps them understand the various pathways that students could explore for the university life and high school as well. And they can also choose so many other options like cybersecurity, software development, computer graphics, robotics, and automation, which is like a new field emerging after the hit of AI and
Mm.
ChatGPT and things like that. So
Mm.
in the future, everything is going to be automated, and the increased rise of reliance on AI is also a key factor. And yeah, that could be something useful the students will be exposed to know about.
Mhm.
And yeah, coming to the main question. So will AI assist or replace thinking? No,
Yeah.
because AI just helps us think faster, but it doesn't actually truly understand what the question is about. So it just
Yeah.
relies on the pattern. So if you give a sentence saying like, how to make a sandwich, it just gives directly keep a bread and put a sauce and that's it. But if you want to make a specific sandwich like chicken, you have to be more specific on what ingredients you would like to add, and then it
Mm,
will be able to understand the step-by-step process on making on a
mm,
sandwich as well. So
mm,
it's also dependent on the humans because we need to be more specific, but it won't be able to understand what kind of sandwich we are wanting to make in our heads. So that is
mhm.
something which can't be replaced.
Yeah.
And students learn to think first and then use AI second, because AI is just a support tool, not the replacement of humans themselves. So only
Mm,
when we understand the question behind it, we'll be able to answer. And it can be just a support tool to add on points. Or maybe when
mm,
it's giving few answers, the students might learn, oh, okay, yeah, there are some other pathways to this as well. So they'll be exposed to like diverse answers, and then they'll be starting to think about it. So it's about students thinking the answer or a solution to a problem, then using the AI as a support tool. And
mhm.
yeah, again, as we discussed, it's not a replacement for creativity, rather just providing like a personal assistant you can think. And
Mhm.
then yeah, human skills which are like logic, empathy, and decision making remain irreplaceable because computers don't understand the empathy or reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
So it's always humans that are coming first and then AI second.
Yeah. Yeah.
And moving on to the next critical question, which is, can we trust AI? Not really, because AI can be helpful but not always accurate, as we discussed. So the data is coming from various sources. So we don't know if we don't like whatever we see on a Google search, we get like so many different websites for
Yeah.
that particular search we have done. But
Mm,
we don't know if all those answers on the internet are correct or wrong in that place itself. So when this AI is being trained upon those data, then it can be inaccurate as well. So it can give like misleading information, misinformation, and it might not be correct as well. So it's always better first to check and verify what the answer has been given, or at
mhm.
least first draft the solution we are thinking about. And if the AI supports, then you can think about, okay, this answer might be correct, might be, still not always, or could be correct.
Yeah.
So mistake happen due to biases in training data. So most of the data that has come from, again, it might not be diverse. Say like there may be few racist comments on the internet. So the AI sometimes can tend to prefer like the white people and white people answers. So sometimes the
Mm,
minority group can be left behind. This is like a crucial topic we always learn in any course or any degree you take about computer science. So
mhm.
it's always important to understand the diversity of the data. And if at
Yeah.
all you're training on a small data set that you are creating on yourself, it's better to introduce all the different kinds of data that we would be exposed and then train the model on top of it. So that is always a better option than relying on the answer directly. And AI may produce, yeah, again, as we discussed, incorrect or incomplete information, and students need to verify these answers and cross-check facts before trusting them. And even if we do trust in the end, trust with caution, because in the end, we don't know. Like if you're doing a school homework and you're stuck with a math question and you don't know how to solve it, and you ask AI to explain the question, and it does, but still, the answer you write it down for the homework after understanding the question may not be the answer the teacher was expecting, or you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it always comes down to critical thinking and then trusting AI.
Yeah.
And yeah, coming to the last and final question, why teachers matter more than AI? So AI is just like a one-way road. You give it questions, it gives you answers. You give some instructions, it gives you answers, but
Yeah.
it doesn't ask you a question and repeat.
Yeah. It
So
doesn't guide you. Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't know that. So
Yeah.
what happens is the students lose the capacity to, think or think in a different way. Whereas the teachers in a classroom, you give a solution, and the teachers might just ask you, "Why do you think so? So why do you think so? This might be the correct solution." Again, you think on top of it. So the
Yeah.
teachers encourage like critical thinking, and they ask questions. They raise the curiosity bar, and It helps them develop logical thinking again. And AI doesn't do that. It doesn't give you the questions back and repeat, and it just gives you the answers. And if at all the student is having a confusion, the AI can't understand that the students are having the confusion, but a teacher might be able to do that because they have seen so many students in their life, and their job is to understand when a particular student is struggling to find a solution for a given problem. They might be able to guide them on how to proceed to the answer, but AI doesn't do that. It just gives us answers, but it doesn't know whether the student understood or not, and if they're having a question on the particular solution as well. So it's like we would waste more time training the AI rather than us solving the problem on
Yeah,
our own.
yeah,
So it's better for the students to go to the teachers whenever they have a doubt rather than just going to AI. AI can be something that can be used when no one is available and they just want to, like know a solution at that time, but still they need to verify the solution after going back to school. So, yeah, as we discussed, the teachers guide these values and they also learn about the digital ethics and safe online behavior as well. And with the rising use of social media apps among this age group, it's better to know about the limitations of these medias and the use of AI as well. And real learning happens through discussion, feedback, and human interaction, not just a one-way road, as we discussed. And yeah, also teachers model how to use AI responsibly and not rely on it blindly. And AI supports learning, but teachers shape the thinking, character, and also raise the curiosity. So this is
mm,
something which is really important, that students do understand that teachers always matter more than any technology that is being developed right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That leads to the question and answer
Yeah.
session
Yeah.
round.
So I think you pretty much answered all the questions
Mhm.
in the chat box. Is AI always right? Obviously, AI is not always right. Well, I guess you have explained in the first part
Mhm.
about why AI is not always right. And if your kids want to know more about how AI works, and they're more than welcome to join our summer camp. And uh, yeah. So yeah, I think I just want to add a little bit of thing based on what Janani just said. Like because I've been taking many students on tutoring. I've tutored them like various subjects like maths and economics and the science. Yeah. First thing like AI does not always provide us with the answer we want. For example, AI might be providing the right answer, but for example, if you ask AI how to solve a difficult math problem, they may provide you with an answer, but the answer is not what you want because the answer uses some knowledge way beyond your knowledge base. Because I used to find students using AI to answer to do their math homework, and it's so obvious that they used AI because the working out is so flawless, so perfect. And I basically I can tell they're using AI from the first glance, which is obviously not right. And also like I do have students using AI as Google as a search engine where they basically, for example, when they're writing an economics essay, they try to find some examples. For example, they don't have any real life example to explain a economics concept, and they're using AI. And the thing is, they just copy down everything from the AI and just move that part into their essay. But this is actually quite obvious because I was telling a student, hey, this section must be written by AI because the English looks so different from what you actually wrote. Students don't know how to actually paraphrasing from AI. So there are a lot of like different tricks and techniques that you need to know rather than just copying everything down from an AI. So I think this is the thing. Like AI does sometimes provide us with right answer, but maybe you want to tweak it. And you want
Yeah.
to know how to use it smartly. And I think that is actually what our summer camp is going to teach students, like how to use AI smartly and responsibly. Do not abuse the use of AI. That's very important. And like I was talking to a teacher from Melbourne University, and I was asking him like how university is actually dealing with the AI issue, because like when you move to an upper year level, like students tend to rely more and more from to the AI because the stuff they're doing is more and more complicated, and they need to use AI more and more. And interesting, I'm not sure if it's true. And this teacher was telling me there's not a set rules to stop students from using AI because they literally can't stop students from using AI. If students are doing the homework from their computer, well, it's their freedom to use AI. So in order to deal with that kind of issue, they said like lot of faculties or a lot of courses, they've changed the exam style. They said, okay, for example, if it used to be an exam on computer, now they change it to a paper exam. They get students to write down things without using the computer, or they get students to do an oral exam. For example, with an essay, they tend to do more and more oral exams. They keep asking students questions regarding their essay, see if they truly understand it. Okay, so like I think in the future there will be a set of rules to deal with AI. So I think it's very important for students to know how to use AI responsibly, how to use AI to assist with your learning instead of like replacing thinking, like what you said. They don't replace thinking. You still have to think. You still have to screen the informations given by the AI. I think the way I use it, the way I see it is we can use it as a more advanced search engine,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. Like, you can search it in a more efficient way because if you use Google to search it, it gives you a whole bunch of informations from the top to the bottom. And you just have no idea like which piece of information is right, which piece of information is not right. But for AI, I think oh, okay. So that I think that question is already answered. So I think for AI, it's just like it can quickly give you some useful information. Okay. So for example, if you ask AI to give you two real life examples, okay, about using interest rate to deal with economics problem, they give you two examples. They do give you two examples. So it's not like if you type up in the Google search box, they give you a whole bunch of informations. So I think students can quickly find information from AI, but they still need to screen it. They just still need to know like whether it's right or wrong. So yeah, there's so much things we can learn from AI from about how to use AI. So that's why I think it's very important to teach students very systematically how to use it. And I think understanding the logics of AI, understanding the algorithm is also very important. I think for questions like why do AI always provide us with fake informations, false informations? Like if you teach them some the algorithm, the logics, the basics, and they will understand more. Okay, about why AI does not always provide us with reliable informations. Right. Okay.
And
Yeah.
also
So,
to add on to
yeah.
what Tony said right now,
Yeah.
AI, if it doesn't know an answer to a particular question, it doesn't say, I don't know. So it just tries to fill the gap and it
Yes.
tries to mix up the real facts with the facts that AI created on its own. So even
Yeah.
if you ask the date for today, what's today's date, it gives like 2024 for me sometimes, though we are living in 2025,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
it just learns from the data, but it's not accurate with the real world. It doesn't follow what's happening.
Yeah.
So it's always trying to give some answer and it doesn't check if it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
So whatever
Yeah.
data has been given to it previously, it just
Yeah.
answers from question bank or the data bank.
Yeah. Yeah, I see. Yeah, so it's interesting. Like while you were saying that, I was thinking about while I was using AI to generate some math questions for my students, I just noticed sometimes it generates the wrong questions. And for example, it generates a question. I get AI to answer the question. It says, "Okay, sorry," it doesn't give an answer. I can't
Mhm.
find an answer to these questions. And sometimes I ask the AI to create a multiple choice question with four options. And then it ends up giving me the question with no right answer. It was like it keeps thinking. But at the end of the day, it says, okay, unfortunately, I can't find the answer to this question. So I just found it like maybe it's the problem with my instruction. I don't know because I don't know much about like the algorithm. So yeah, that's right. So AI is just not totally reliable. So it's not human. It does not replace human thinking. Like what you said, AI's thinking is based on data. So yeah, all right. Okay, let me see if there's any more questions that I need to answer. Uh, does AI make my kids more foolish? We hope it's not the case. It's not the case that AI will make your kids more foolish. So yeah, I think parents are worrying about that. So kids rely too much on AI. They just get answers from AI for every single question. So now I think parents are very paranoid. They
Yeah.
start to restrict kids' use of computers because parents can't tell whether the
Yeah.
kids is using AI in the right way or not. They start to just ban kids from using the computer, using the technology. So yeah, so how do we actually balance this? Like, do you think like
Um,
parents should actually ban their kids from using any technology because they don't think AI is is the right way to learn? Yeah, yeah,
No, not if it's used correctly. So AI just
yeah,
becomes a problem when you over rely on it without you thinking the answer down first. So if
yeah,
parents think that the students are relying on AI too much and they should ban it, maybe they
yeah,
can let the students the kids write down the solution for a given problem, answer it
yeah.
well, just like how we would do back in the days. Like if we when we didn't have AI or any apps or technology, what we would be doing is like we will write down the solution and go back to school the next day and verify that with the teacher.
Yeah.
But you can do the same thing, write down the solution and you think what is right, and
Yeah.
and then you can ask the AI. Like you don't need to give the solution as well, just ask it
Mm,
for a suggestion. So it can be like a suggestion tool, and when it gives you a different answer sometimes, then you can see
yeah,
why has it given me a different answer. So it can cross verify whether the student has written the correct solution or the AI is wrong. So maybe it can also develop their diverse thinking as well when it's giving a different answer.
yeah,
But if it's giving the right answer the student has already written down, it's like
mm,
a verification tool. Like, okay, the students
yeah,
can now verify that the answer is correct and
yeah,
they can move on to the
yeah.
next question rather than breaking their head to wait to go to school the next day and verify with the teacher. But
Yeah,
still,
students can use
at
AI
the
to
end of
check. Yeah,
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 still at the end of the day, students still need to go back to school and verify. But it's just
yeah,
at that point of time, it gives them a clarity on what the solution is, and they
yeah.
can move on to work on the other things.
Mm. Yeah, you're right. Like this just makes me thinking about using AI to check students' homework,
Mhm.
especially like when students write an essay or like a economics essay or English essay. I sometimes get AI to kind of check it for me, like to give me some feedback on how this essay is written. I think AI does a good job in checking homework or evaluating or assessing students' work. It gives
Yeah.
some valuable advices, but we don't get AI to do the homework for us. But we can use AI to kind of check for our homework, like a first round check before you hand in. Well, I think that's actually a correct way, yeah, of
Even
using AI.
universities right now, so they do allow the use of AI, but you can use it like say again, like as you said, an essay. You
Yeah,
can give the question or like the assignment description to AI,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
you can ask it to see if your essay matches the requirements correctly given in the
Yes,
assignment
yes,
description. If you're
yeah,
missing
yeah,
some parts, or
yeah,
I should address these areas or some things like that. So it can help you in those ways. So if it says like, okay, you're missing this particular concept, which is being a critical requirement for the assignment, then you
yeah,
can, okay, yeah, I did miss that. So I should now start focusing on that part of the assignment right now. So yeah, it
yeah.
can just help you or assist you with your assignment, but not writing the entire essay for the
Yes,
assignment.
definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah.
It does look very artificial. Like
Yeah.
where students actually use AI to generate a whole paragraph or like a whole essay. It's just so obvious. Just
Mm-hmm.
from my point of view, like I'm not a native speaker, but just from my perspective, it looks very obvious that students is using AI to write an essay or write an article. We used to have like a year five students writing an essay using AI. It just doesn't look like a year five. Like, yeah. So yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. All right. So is there any more questions from the parents? Okay. Oh, I think someone has already left. Okay. I think that will do for today. We'll leave more informations for our summer camp. So if you're interested in our summer camp, okay, you can contact our consultant and for more informations or for to sign up. And once again, thank you so much, Janani, for taking your time to do this info session. I think it's very informative. And yeah, hopefully I will see you next time. Okay, in our live stream. Okay, thank you so much. And I think
Thank,
that will do for our info sessions for today. All right.
thank you.
Thank you.